Owls are arguably the most fierce predators at night. They can fly silently to their prey, and when they attack, they do so swiftly and effectively. So why don't owls hoot while hunting? To answer this question, we need to take into account some of the characteristics that make owls such deadly hunters. When most birds fly, they produce a loud flapping sound due to the air passing over their wings. This is not only a product of the air moving, but also because the bird itself is making an effort to move its wings. In order to be as stealthy as possible while hunting, owls have evolved to make almost no noise when flying. It's all down to their feathers. Their wings have a special construction that makes them silent but deadly. The front edge of their wings has soft, downy feathers that act like a cushion, reducing the noise made by the air passing over them. Also, their feathers have a comb-like structure on the leading edge that helps to reduce turbulence and again cut down on noise. This means they can get very close to their prey without being detected. But there's another reason why owls choose to hunt in silence. If you were an owl swooping down on a field mouse that was scurrying around its burrow, you wouldn't want to alert it to your presence by making a bunch of noise. That would give the mouse enough time to escape. Also, owls rely heavily on their hearing to find prey. They have asymmetrical ears, meaning that their ears are located at different heights on either side of their head. This helps them to determine the location of prey by listening for the tiny rustlings of a mouse's movement. If they were to make noise themselves, it might mask the sounds of their prey. One of the main reasons owls have such good hearing is because of the shape of their heads. Their round heads act like satellite dishes, collecting sound waves from their surroundings and funneling them towards their ears. Having such acute hearing is crucial for finding prey in dark conditions, but it also makes them more susceptible to auditory illusions. Owls sometimes fall prey to a phenomenon known as the precedence effect. This occurs when an animal's brain perceives the source of a sound to be where it was heard first, even if the sound is actually coming from somewhere else. It's the reason why, if you listen carefully, you may hear one voice when two people are talking at the same time, or why a singer's voice seems to come from the stage rather than your speakers at a concert. So what does this mean for our hooting friends? Imagine you're an owl swooping down on a hapless field mouse. You're relying on your excellent hearing to help guide you towards your prey. But if the mouse happens to squeak just as you're about to pounce, your brain may be tricked into thinking that the squeak is coming from above you, even if it's actually coming from below. As a result, you might just end up catching air. For this reason, owls tend to remain silent while hunting, except, of course, for the occasional screech or bark, which they use to startle their prey rather than to communicate. And while we're on the topic of startling prey, let's dispel a common myth. Owls don't actually turn their heads 360 degrees. They can rotate their heads about 270 degrees, which is pretty impressive, but it's nothing in comparison to this guy. Now watch this. What's going on? Why doesn't the owl just break its neck? Well, owls have very strong necks, thanks to 14 neck vertebrae that allow for extra flexibility. These vertebrae also have strong ligaments and tendons that help to support their overall body weight. The muscles in their necks are also particularly strong, allowing them to turn their heads almost completely around. In fact, there are very few parts of an owl's body that aren't perfectly suited for hunting. Even their eyes are specially adapted to help them find prey. Their forward-facing eyes provide them with binocular vision, meaning that they can see in 3D. This gives them a distinct advantage when hunting, allowing them to judge distances more accurately. Most birds have eyes on the sides of their heads, which provides them with a wider field of view, but makes it harder for them to judge distances. So, next time you hear an owl hooting, remember that, although you may not be able to see it, it's probably watching you with keen interest and deadly intent. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more nature videos.